days should you train? That really depends on where you are in your life. If you're married, have a family, have a full-time job, obviously you probably can't train as much as the person that's 18, 19, a competitor that's looking to train all the time. So that question really depends on the person, depends on where you are in your life. For me, when I was learning jiu-jitsu, I trained as much as I possibly could. I was so passionate about it. And I encourage people that are learning jiu-jitsu, initially, if you have that passion, try to get as much out of the art as possible. But if you're, at a different point in your life and you don't have the time, you just have to figure out the schedule that works for you. You have to figure out the schedule that works for your family, the rest of your life. I encourage people, you ideally in an ideal world, even if you're very busy, you should try to train 3 times a week. 2 times a week, you should definitely try to get in just to make sure you're maintaining the skill that you have developed. And if you're young and you're somebody that likes to compete, then I encourage those guys and girls to train 5 and 6 days a week, especially if it's somebody that's looking to compete in a Pan American style tournament or a world tournament. Those tournaments are very high level and you have to train a lot to be ready for those types of tournaments. So basically, there's no real answer to how often you should train. You have to figure out what works for you, and it's more important to be consistent with your training as opposed to training 6 days on one week and then the next week you don't train any. You're better off training 3 days each of those weeks and doing it on a consistent basis than basically having big valleys and peaks in your training.